All right, good morning, IHSA football family. Here we go. Yes, I'm late. I do apologize. Dukane Conference Preview 2023. Here we go. My name is Coach Big Pete, aka P. Leinweber, publisher of DeepDishFootball.com. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email is CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com. That's CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Also, make sure you follow DuPage Run and Shoot Show, DuPage County Run and Shoot Show with me and my co-host Patrick Cotto, a host on NCTV, Naperville Community Access Television. We talk Duquesne football a lot because there's a lot of DuPage teams in there. Make sure you check it out. Follow DuPage Run and Shoot Show on Twitter and Facebook. And again, my email is CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com. That's CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com. And here we go, 2023 Dukane Conference. And yes, I am back. So let's get started. And again, like last year to this year, this conference, to me, personally, I do not see any weak points. That's the title of the article, no weak points. I really do believe that. I feel that this Dukane Conference, you can make a statement for each team. I think the obvious is Geneva, Batavia, St. Charles North in no order, so I don't get complained at. This is going to be one of the more tougher conferences this season, like last year. But I do believe that some of the so-called weak sisters that everyone's been making fun of and saying that they're not going to, I think they're good. I think Lake Park High School is a great team. I think Lake Park, to me, proved a lot last season. I think Glenbard North, every time we doubt Glenbard North, they come back and they whip ass. So don't be surprised. Wheaton-Warrenville South. Everyone's saying Wheaton-Warrenville South's going to be bad. Wheaton-Warrenville South's going to be good this season. St. Charles East. Everyone's been saying about St. Charles East. I think everything's positive for the St. Charles East team to do some damage this year. I don't see them as a weak point either. I think this is a very strong conference from top to bottom, honestly. That's my personal feeling. And if you look at it, you look at Batavia, you look at a Geneva, you look at a St. Charles North, you say those are the three top dogs, but don't doubt Wheaton North. I think Max Hauser is going to have a great season for Wheaton North, and definitely a name that you got to keep an eye out for at quarterback. With the Barna at defensive end, he's an absolute killer. So we will go more in depth right now, and we go into the Batavia football team. Ryan Bowe, the guy's a star, committed to NDSU. He's going to be a big name, and he's definitely a kid to check out. Jonathan Brown, another star offensive lineman. Charlie Wepley, one of the best athletes in the state of Illinois. Luke Elwin, very impressive wide receiver, one of the top wide receivers in the state. Ben Fiegel, athletes, got a couple offers. Look, another player to keep an eye out for. Frank Perico, another offensive lineman to check out for. Jacob Genesee, I think he's going to have a huge season. I think he's going to burst onto the scene this year. Jackson Nialkling, I talked about him a couple seasons, 2 years ago. I did scouting notes on him. He's another player to keep an eye out for. Kyle Porter, multi-hybrid athlete that you must know about. He's going to be a strong defender for the Batavia Bulldogs. And Batavia Bulldogs, that's the team. Big name to watch out for. I'm telling you this right now. Nathan Whitwell. Nathan Whitwell is going to be one of those top Batavia names that you know about in the coming years. Especially this fall, he's going to put up some major points. Another name to check out for. Jordan Buckley, huge defensive lineman. Just an absolute mauler. He's got a bunch of offers. He already committed, but he's going to get some more. But I think that he's going to get into that Power 5 pretty soon. He's definitely a player to keep an eye out for. Nick Ruiz, another offensive lineman that you must know about. He is huge, 6'4". He's going to be a late emerger as well. The offensive lineman is their strength right now. From a years ago of me talking with Coach Pyron and saying, yeah, they're going to be a little bit fast, a little bit on the young side, to now, that's just a devastating offensive line. And the only thing that can hurt Dukane Conference this year going into the playoffs is if they get some shitty seeding. If they get, I think, but again, I think we go back to the years past when Wheaton North won that state title and Lockport won that state title. I see a lot of the private schools that people are talking about. There's a lot more weak spots than there was last year. I think this is a good year for public schools, and I think this could be a good year for Dukane, depending on the seating, so they don't get screwed on seating. So after that, we go towards. Let's go to Lake Park High School, and with Lake Park High School again, Michael McCormick. He's got to have a big season. This is a big year for this man. Senior, if he has a big season, Lake Park can do a lot of damage. Armand Volder Munez, another big offensive lineman, a name that you got to check out. He's going to be huge for the Lake Park Lancers. Nick Cairo, another big name that you got to check out as well. They got a good defense. They proved a lot last year with their defense. They proved a lot Lake Park. So again, it's going to be huge for them. I'm trying to look for Anthony Marchese. I apologize. I mispronounced names. I apologize for that. He's going to be another name to check out for. He's going to be another player another kid that's going to be looked at for the Lancers. He's got to have a big season as well. They've got a solid athletic group of wide receivers, Lake Park. So keep an eye on a good running game as well. Let's go down. Let's go to Geneva. We always talk about Geneva football. To me, we look at Taylor. Yes, he is the star. To me, I think, again, the coverage is on against him, again, double. The other wide receivers at Geneva are going to have to step up this season because Taylor he's going to be targeted. So that's definitely going to be a big thing for the other wide receivers. They got to pick up their game. Tommy Diamond, very athletic linebacker you got to keep an eye out for. Rocco DiLenardi, another big-time defensive player maker that you must know about too. They got a great quarterback. I'm trying to find his name. Tyler. They got a couple young players that are getting into that junior year. So Geneva, again, they've been taking steps forward as a program. This could be a big year, especially. And I say this again. The one thing that scares me about with Geneva is they start believing their press clippings. This year is going to be a huge proving point for them, and they got a good shot at challenging for a state title this year. So no doubt about that. All right, we go to St. Charles North. Now St. Charles North. I say this again. St. Charles North has given me 2021 Wheaton North vibes. Honestly, they're giving this team. There's something about this team where I'm feeling that St. Charles North, to me, they don't make one of the weird things is that they don't win the Dukane, but they get into the playoffs and they get a hot streak and they get after that and they get a state title. So this team is giving me major Wheaton North vibes from 2021. Ethan Plum, star quarterback for North Stars. It's going to be Ethan Plum, Ryan Bowe. That's going to be the major clash in the Dukane Conference. But Ethan Plum's name you got to keep an eye for. Anthony Termina, another big time name that you must know about as well. Where am I? I'm missing another player. Jake Thurtney, another big name for the North Stars. Sorry about that. Jake Meadow, another big name, big time recruit that you got to know about as well. Good offensive line. I really like their athleticism of this team, of the St. Charles North team. The big thing for them is their defensive line. They got to get after it against that Batavia team. That's going to be a big proving point for the St. Charles North team. That's going to be huge. I think also Bradley, and I'm forgetting the other defensive end. There's another defensive end that I'm forgetting about. They're going to be two players to keep an eye out for as well. And I'm forgetting there's one more player on this North Star team. Hopefully I can find them. No, I can't find them. All right. That's my fault. All right. We get into Wheaton Warrenville South. Now, with the Wheaton Warrenville South team, this team is being slept on. I'm telling you that right now, along with Lake Park. One of the big things that I'm impressed with is Luca Carbonero. Hopefully I got his name correct. Let me see. Yes, Carbonero, definitely a player that you got to keep an eye out for. Matthew Kreider, big-time athlete. Brady Grocken, tight end, keep an eye out for as well. 2, Lucas Rossini, big-time linebacker. I'm very impressed with Luke Dotto, their safety, defensive back. He's a highly athletic, again, sideline-to-sideline player. Kyle Pulke, another tight end that you got to keep an eye out for as well. They got 2 good, solid tight ends. Definitely things you got to check out for at Wheaton Warrenville South. All right. But Wheaton Warrenville South, again, the big thing will be they got to get those first wins. That's the most important thing for them. For Glenbar North, they always, again, they rebuild fast. Next man up mindset. That's the big thing for Glenbar North. I'm trying to find the kid's name. They got a good offensive line, defensive line. Joe Plomero. They got the defense. The guy Samir from Wheaton Warrenville South. He transferred to Glenbar North. He's going to be an absolute stud for these Panthers. Again, do not sleep on this Glenbar North team. And again, the big thing is when we doubt them, they win. That's the scary thing about this Glenbar North team. And again, just the culture of this team. So hard nose will knock you on your ass. Undersized players that will just straight up kill you. That's the Glenbar North way. They're definitely always challengers. All right. Let's go to St. Charles East. St. Charles East High School. Again, Bodie McCaslin, everyone knows about. He's the start the offensive tackle in the state of Illinois, one of the top recruits. Mac Paul, who I believe is one of the more underrated multiple hybrid athletes in the state of Illinois. He's another player to keep an eye out for as well. I'll give you a name that people might not know about. Charlie McErdle, linebacker. Really like this kid. Very impressed with him. Check him out. They got some young, talented players coming up as well. I'm trying to find the other wide receiver that they got another wide receiver that you got to keep an eye out for as well. And it's killing me because I can't find it. But again, do not sleep on the St. Charles East team. Don't overlook them. This team could be serious. And I mean, let me just look at one thing. And again, they got a shot at being 2-0. They're going against the Lincoln Way Central team at Lincoln Way Central. I think they can get the win. Wheaton Academy, their second game. That could be a win too. They got a shot at possibly being 2-0, 3-0. So the St. Charles East team is not another team. Again, there's no weak points in this conference. No weak points in this conference. This isn't some type of scenario where it's going to be the Batavia, Geneva, St. Charles North. They're going to win everything. No, definitely teams to keep an eye out for. Wheaton North, Joe Barna, absolute star, just committed to the University of Illinois. Kid is the real deal. Walker Owens, running back, unbelievable athlete. He's a senior. I'm expecting a big game. I think, again, this team has this shot. They could just get the crown for the Dukane Conference. Dylan Jung, another player to keep an eye out for. Very, very, very athletic. A lot of people are overlooking him. Matt Kuczaj, I apologize. Again, I'm a mushmouth. I am a horrible with English grammar, as you can see. But he is going to be a star wide receiver for the Dukane Conference. Max Hauser, I'm expecting a huge season out of that man. He's going to have a great season, player to keep an eye out for, and just an overall great kid that you got to keep an eye out for. And I'm trying to find the other player. I can't find his name. Again, I apologize. I should write a script about this. But again, we look at their schedule. Downers Grove South. Good. That's a good. South is a little bit of a rising team, and Lockport. A couple questions going on with Lockport. you look at the schedule, very favorable for the Wheaton North team. So again, Dukane Conference. There's no weak points. I can say, hey, Glenbard North, you know what? They're going to be a bad team. No, I've learned my lesson. I don't doubt Glenbard North. I think St. Charles East is being overlooked. I think Lake Park, people don't understand the what Lake Park has been doing. Coach, hopefully Kirkpatrick, has done a wonderful job. These There's nothing really weak about this, so please don't think that, oh well, it's going to be Batavia, Geneva, St. Charles North. No, and Wheaton North. No, this is going to be a tough conference. I think there's going to be some upsets. There's going to be some moment. What the hell's going on? I think this is a great conference, but overall, I see 4 state challengers in this conference. That's how impressed I am. And again, I think this is going to be a good year for public schools against private schools when we get into the playoffs. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete